the grounds can teach you, right? The trees can teach you, the fire can teach you, or they might reveal something, or they might offer a healing energy, but if you don't give them any attention or any respect, then they're less likely to want to work with you, right? And so that's why we sit the tobacco there, so you can make an offering to the fire or to the grounds. You see, you're building relationships. And the more that you can put through your head that everything is a relationship, right? Every experience that is beyond just you is a chance for expanding relationships. You see what I'm saying? So if you kind of get in the habit of it, then sometimes the habit teaches you, because you're doing something else and you're like, oh, I'm on the ground, and something starts to kick in to reach for the tobacco or to walk over to an altar, or, you see what I'm saying? It's just it's beyond just also what are you getting out of it? Do you see? Because when you ask the question, what am I getting out of it? You're control-based and ego-based. And if you can see past that and say, what can I share or give, then naturally stuff comes back to you. You see, it works. But it has to be a sincere intent if you want it to come back cleanly. It'll still come back, and any which way you approach it, you're still going to get insights, you're still going to, all kinds of things can happen. But what I'm saying is, if you want to set yourself up for the most powerful experience in relationship, you see what I'm saying? You can play with that, because if you're coming to this healing circle, then you're more a part of the soul of this place than just somebody who just comes to a sound bath every once in a while. Do you see? You are the ones that are growing this environment, not me. You see? The way that I hear from spirit is when other people are leading experiences, I'm hardly present at all. I'm in the future and stuff's being fed to me. That can't happen unless you guys are doing stuff, you see? And me personally, I suck at relationships. And so it's really important for my growth to be involved in these kinds of things, because that's how I learn, by going into the stuff that I'm not naturally inclined to do. You see? So for each one of us, that's that opportunity. Try to really explore that, and I would encourage you to, if you're really kind of devoted to growth or this way of life or being more present or whatever it is you're seeking in your relationship with you and whatever other that you decide to include in that relationship, I would highly encourage you once a month to come here at least one time when you don't feel like it, or at least one time when it's something that you're not really interested in. And you'll be so surprised how much more you get out of it. You could just be coming here just to open your heart, and by having your heart open and just being that loving presence, because you sacrificed. Do you see? Sacrifice, you gotta let go of something personal. And when you say, I don't wanna be here, or I don't like that, and you still come, that's a sacrifice. That helps everyone else in the group. Do you see? And the more that you do that, the more stuff starts coming. You see? If you just try to seek the stuff and say, me, or I'm trying really hard, and I'm putting in all these hours, and look at all I'm doing. You see? But really what you're doing is a business transaction. I'm doing this because I want that. You see? And it's so subtle, the difference of I want that. But more importantly, I also want to connect, or to relate, or to be of service, or whatever word you want to fill in there, whatever your values are. Do you see? There's nothing wrong with wanting it. But also there's so much more to who you are than just that. Do you see? Because spirit doesn't have anything to answer back if you just stay there. Anyway. Would anyone have a mantra they would like to start us off with tonight? Hi.
In Japanese, I try to live by one of my mantras, Nami Ninoru, which means to keep surfing, keep going with the flow. And I like to remind myself that you may be overthinking the moment and a wave hits your face. If I just keep going and I just go with how everything is moving, I'm going to end up where I need to end up.
You want to lead it? So we can all practice it once?
Lead it.
So just tell us however you do it, and repeat it so we can all try it once. And we can once, 2, 3 times, whatever you want.
Okay. So just start saying it? Or?
Sure, however you want. It's up to you.
So I'll say it 3 times. Nami Ninoru, Nami Ninoru, Nami Ninoru.
Ready? Take a deep breath in. And then, what's the pace? It's just Nami. Let me hear you say it once, just so we can all.
Nami Ninoru.
Say it like you're actually. Do you breathe it out, or do you just keep repeating?
It's a lot of it's mental, so I guess I'm trying to make it more physical.
Huh?
Maybe I can practice. So I repeat it at that, I guess, tempo. So Nami Ninoru, 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 Nami Ninoru,
Nami Ninoru, Nami Ninoru.
So typically we start with a few small breaths and the same mantras each time. And so tonight we are doing it a little bit differently, and we're just opening up for other mantras. If there's one that you're called to bring in. Does anyone else have a mantra that they tend to do? And it could be in English, it doesn't matter. Does anyone have one that they'd like to share?
This mantra is the mantra for deity Manjusri, which is probably seen as a flaming sword. It's the only one who has a sword. It's an energy of seeing through things clearly, kind of cutting through, if you will. Anything that kind of comes up, seeing it as either delusion or illusion or something that isn't the true essence of ultimate reality or your ultimate self. And the mantra is Om A Ra Pa Cha Na Di. And I'll just start saying it. You guys can join in. Om Ra Pa Ta Na Di, 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 Om Ra Pa Ta Na Di. Om Ra Pa Ta Na Di, Om Ra Pa Ta Na Di, Di 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 Di.
Anyone else have one they'd like to share? Okay, take a moment to check in with yourself. See where you're at thus far. The idea in these things is, an event such as this is, hopefully by the end of the evening there's some subtle shift that you consider positive in your energy, or maybe some insight that you take with you, and some practice you might take out into the world this week. And it's up to you. But that's the offer of this event, essentially, is not telling you what to do, but just trying to help you discover you, help you feel some support in your coming week. The subtleness, if you want to connect in with your soul, one of the ways to do it is to start noticing the subtleties. Any subtle shift. And so in order to notice a subtle shift, you first have to try to attune as much as you can to where you are right now. Where is your physical state, your emotional state, your mental state? Not as a judgment, but just as a marker, so that way as the evening goes on, if there's any shift, you notice the subtleties, you're starting to connect. See? Because the only real difference between you and your soul is an expansiveness. You have a direct way that you are viewing the world right now. It is your own unique way. And each time that you can expand beyond your own unique way, you're getting closer to the light of your soul. That's all. So check in. Make relations, be all right with whatever you find, send it some love, and in that love, find some space. In a way, you could call it a deepening relation, but also it's an expansion. And take a moment to look within and find a pinpointed spot. You could also do it with one of your senses externally. It's a little bit more difficult that way. Try to just focus, concentrate on that spot, and keep returning to it. Returning each time a thought comes up or your body tells you to move. Notice it and try to just come quickly back to your focus area. See if when you open your eyes, go ahead and open your eyes, try to maintain the same state. So maintaining the same state, just look around and see if you can maintain that concentrated state. So, in the principles of Raja Yoga, there's different states. The first state being concentration, which should take a lifetime to make relations with. It should never end. But then the next state is that of meditation. The state of meditation is where you start to work on the mental plane, connecting in with your soul. In the recent 100 years, the best way that it probably would have been explained, concentration, when blended, to focus that concentration on devotion to the Creator, that is another way of understanding the state of meditation. So what's happening is you're starting to realize that life isn't happening to you. It's happening because of you. That you are no longer just reactive, but you can begin to co-create with life based on the intent that you put into life. Blended with an expansion of feeling and perspective beyond your own. So each time you start to consider things through other people's lenses, you're getting closer to that soul's perspective on the mental plane. That is the stage of meditation, the state of meditation. You see, it's never really been explained out there before because people's minds weren't ready yet for the concepts. It was too premature to start stepping into those powers. And now we're just at a place, a beginning of an opening. Whatever that means. That's the beauty of it, is if you can find balance within who you are and the intent that you put out there, and then a faith of spirit or soul, or however you want to look at it, answering back, you can start to see the magic there without trying to control it. But just enjoying it. Then the magic happens. And it grows and grows and grows until you abuse it. And then it goes away. It's how it should work. You see, when things go away, that's a blessing. You don't want to get too far out there. You don't want to fry yourself trying to figure those things out. It's where a lot of people in their spiritual practices get really messed up because they overthink it, and thinking goes through your entire nervous system and it fries you. And it should fry you because you're trying to control and you're accidentally separating. Right? And so in order to get to that soul's understanding, it's not through the logic, it's through your own misunderstanding. Your willingness to realize that whatever, whoever, why ever, there's so much more to you than what you're realizing. You see, the ego limits us based on fear. And the soul just is like, I want to lovingly bring you your experiences. But how you want to work with them is up to you. If you want to be limited, then God bless. Because in those limitations, there's opportunities, right? We're going to go through our 3 most recent mudras that we shared with people. So we're going to open up to you and let you, or any of you, walk through the mudra so you can see where is your relationship with the mudra. So we're going to go through all 3 of them, and if it goes well, then obviously anything you guys share isn't on there, but we're going to put it on our page so other people can start practicing those 3 mudras. Last time we met, we did very abstract meditations where you guys created the meditations. Time before that, we did things in the elements. We'll be returning tonight again to a guided meditation. But this guided meditation is going to be an opportunity for you to expand your relations with your parents. So that's what's coming in for today. So we're going to go through 3 mudras. The second and third one, some of you have been practicing it in different ways, so we'll ask any of you to walk us through it, and then I'll walk us through it, just to give someone a practice. But the first mudra is a mudra that came in about 18 months ago, and I think I only shared it with maybe 6 people, because it wasn't for me to share with the group. And then last Saturday I shared it with the circle, and so now I'm sharing it here. I kind of call this one the pressure valve release, or the tire pressure release. The idea with this mudra is basically just if you feel like too much stuff building up in you, the idea in this one is just to have a way to release it. So the idea with this one is first, kind of like the fans, go like this and put it right here at the sternum, and then you just bring the other hand right over top of the thumb, holding the thumb. And so I kind of go like this in just to release it some, because the whole idea is you can store a lot of stuff up here and your own personal worries and all that kind of stuff. And so the idea is you sit it wherever it feels. For me, if I ever feel it, it's right there, almost where the ribs meet, just below the sternum. And I sit it here, and it's kind of pointing slightly downward, and then this holds on and kind of drops it a little bit. And so the idea is you just sit with it and just feel like almost like you're hitting that stem of a tire to let the air come out. And so you can even, we haven't done this before, but you can even, if you wanted to, you could take a deep breath in and just sigh it out. So if you want, remove your hands once like this, and just, if you want to practice it, you don't have to. Please don't feel pressure to do any of this stuff, but if you want to practice it, think of something that's just kind of been building up or in the past. Maybe it's not even there anymore or whatever. Just bring that energy in for a second, and then go to your mudra, take the breath, and just feel yourself breathing it out a little bit. Try that once or twice if you like. It's the pressure valve release. Maybe it works for you, and if it does, feel free to have it in your arsenal. That's the first one. The second one is one that came in when we started doing some one-on-ones last September with people. This is called the Angel Wing of Presence, or just the Angel Wing Mudra. The idea in this mudra is things are going to get your attention. And typically the things that get your attention really strongly are the things that stir you. And what I want to encourage you to do, because we spend We've spent a good amount of time trying to help people work through different things. But I want to encourage you to not feel like you have to work through anything. To where you realize that something can grab your attention, but it doesn't mean it has to also grab your intention. And so the idea is, whenever anything starts to grab, where you're feeling stirred or whatever, first just grab it here and hold it here. So what I do is, if you see my hands, they're kind of intersecting right here, and you're just holding it here. And so what I want to encourage you to do is to try, just like what you do with your concentration, of keep coming back to your point of concentration, try to say, instead of stirring, bad, I need to react, whatever, just say, thank you, you just helped me get present. Do you see? So what you're doing is, you're not trying to change it, you're not trying to describe it, deflect it, give it a story, judge it, whatever. You're just trying to say thank you, present. And now that you're present, what you do is this, you open up your angel wings. So when you open up, you can kind of feel them cupping. So see my hands cupping like this? Because you're opening up, it's opening your heart. But when you open up, it's almost like you can feel in your back your angel wings opening. So what's happening is, you're going from here of, man, look at me, this sucks, what's going on, me, which is perfect. But you say, you know what? There's that, but there's also more to me. See, this is true balance. True balance is seeing that this can exist and also this can exist. And so what you're doing is, you're opening up to allow your soul to come in. The loving light of your soul. And your soul isn't going to try to change anything. It's just saying, you know what? There's more to you. There's that, but then there's so much more. Do you see? Technically, one other thing that you're doing here, if you're more into this kind of stuff, if you're a big thinker, I want you to try not to worry about this so much. But also, what's happening here, this is holding at your solar plexus chakra. When you go to open up, you see my hands, they're making a triangle. You're transforming, you're allowing that energy to go from personal self, relating to other people, how they're impacting you or stirring you or whatever, to opening up to the heart, allowing the soul to come in. So you're saying, yeah, there's that, but there's also more to me than that. The wholeness of me is more than just that. And allowing yourself just to be present with that. Do you see? From there, there's all kinds of things you can do then to direct your intention, which your attention will follow. There's all kinds of techniques, but I want you to know that just doing that alone is beautiful and enough. Do you see? Does that make sense? If anybody would want to practice saying it or practice doing it, or if you have any questions at this point with this one, opening up. So here, it's like the hands are kind of soft. So it's not like you're karate chopping, right? You're just opening up. And if you can visualize literally the wings opening, for some people that makes a difference to the energy. So here, just allow the wings to open. Down there. Remember, you're not alone, and you're also not that. Whatever it is that stirs you, there's so much more to you than that. It's not to discount that, that's a part of you. If someone calls you an a-hole, I'm an a-hole and there's so much more to me. You're everything. Do you see? Not just the story you tell yourself right now, or the past, or the future, or whatever. You're everything in potential. Do you see? So the idea is, it takes the weight off a little bit. You know, there's that, but there's so much more. So much more to this experience, or to that situation, or to me, or to my mind, or to wherever you, there's always so much more. So if you can make relations with the misunderstandings and see that, there's opportunities to grow. You stop growing when you think you got to figure it out. You see? And if you want to connect with the soul, it ain't about figuring it out. It's actually about tapping into the mysteries. Okay, the third mudra. This mudra came up during our recent retreat. This mudra is clearing the way with intention. So the idea, remember I said anything can grab your attention, but you can start deciding with your intention, what is your focus point? Do you see? And so this mudra, I'm going to stay seated, it's probably easier standing, but the idea in this mudra is to clear out some of the energy and then realize and bring in your intention and putting your intention out into the world. So this one's a little bit more of a playful one. So the idea is whenever something is stirring you up and you're feeling kind of like this, you go like this, you go, and let it go, and then you're like, why? And then you go, W, willpower, that's your intent. You see? So it's like, let me get this out of me, why? Okay, I remember, show me that I can make the choice, I have the will. And then what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna push it out into the world, but I'm not doing this. Notice when I do it, so I'm like this, getting that out of me, why? Okay, remember, set my intent, and now I'm pushing it out into the world, but I'm not going like this, pushing out in the world. I'm not trying to, because to me this is very, very important. When you're gonna tap in to the power of an intent, it is really important that you use that masculine energy with divine respect. And so the idea is, you're putting it out into the world, but you're still allowing spirit to answer how it's going to work out. Do you see? It's really the reason a lot of these things have not been taught to date, teaching people how to get into the mental plane and to start becoming a co-creator, is because it's way too easy to start tapping into dark magic. It's very easy with a loving intent to try to start controlling other people through their mind or through the government or through actions or through whatever. And so it's really important when you're putting your intent out there, you're realizing that, yeah, I'm putting it out there, but also I'm open to how it's coming back. You see? That way you're staying in loving acceptance. So if anybody wants to try it, think of something that's been getting to you icky or anxious or depression or whatever, and just wiggle it on out, and why? It's okay to say why. You can let it out, like why?
Why?
And then, but with that why, now you've let that, like, now, okay, now, wow, this is showing me that I get to decide. I have the intent. Decide on your intent and now put it out into the world. Do you see? Before, this thing was controlling you. And it's natural to say why, but now you're understanding why. The things that you considered negative are actually either pointing to your path or pointing to the thorns along the path to say you're falling off your path. And so what you learn as you start bringing in the power of discrimination, you start choosing what is right and what is wrong for you. Do you see? That's how you build your path and start marking the way. So you start seeing through the positive lens of the soul that all the things before that your individual self considered negative, in time and with love, you see that those things were actually the markers for your path. We all have the markers for our path. They were all chosen, either before this lifetime or through this lifetime with your own free will. So those are the mudras. Feel free to practice them, share them. Thank you for being a part of that. Any questions? Anyone have anything? Yeah, anything is energy, but the idea within however you're positioning your body, just like different ways you build a fire, you're going to be aligning with different types of energies, right? And so body is a temple, and so you get to decide how you want to build your altars. So some people, mudras might work great. For some people, mantras might work great. For some people, prayer works great. For some people, it doesn't matter. Walking works great. They're all there. They're all beautiful. They're all a way to make the relations. But just try to be mindful of the environment you're setting up before you start your walk, or before you start your prayer, or how do you close it. And however you do it, learn that what it feels like. You don't have to describe it, but make a relation and notice that feeling. And then in all other aspects of your life, start bringing that feeling to those aspects. You see? However you get there is up to you. So we're gonna, it's about a 15-minute or so meditation. If you want a blanket to cover up, I'm gonna light the fire as well. You can feel free to lay down. If you want to follow the meditation, maybe if you think you can lay down and stay focused, great. Basically, we're going to walk through a couple steps of first connecting in with the divine, feminine and masculine, and then we're going to make relations. The idea in this meditation is it's not it's not meant for a healing or to change something. It's actually just meant for balance, which to me is synonymous with expansion. So it's expanding the viewpoints, that's all. It's not saying one point was wrong or one point's right. It's just giving an opportunity to expand it. Is everyone ready? Mm-hmm. So get comfy, do whatever you do to do your thing. Finding a comfortable space where you can stay still without distraction for approximately 15 minutes. Sit or lay in a way that allows your body to feel held, but will allow you to also maintain a focus without falling asleep. Allowing your hands to rest somewhere effortlessly. Letting your eyes gently close or the gaze to soften towards the ground. Take in a deep breath, and then let it out slowly. Take in another deep breath, and with the next exhale, let the weight of the day begin to loosen. Softening the shoulders, the jaw, the back, the belly, the feet. We're going to spend some time together with two of the oldest relationships any of us will ever carry. That of the mother and the father. Not necessarily the people at first, but the forces behind it. The shapes behind the individual. Wherever your own mother and father are right now, whether close by, far away, whether it's complicated, absent, estranged, or whether they're no longer in the body at all, they are welcome to be held at whatever distance feels safe for you right now. This will be a meditation of expansion, not correction. We're not trying to force forgiveness. We're not trying to excuse what hurt or to rewrite the truth of the experience for you. We are only opening a lens a little bit wider so that you can see more than one layer at a time. So begin to allow your breath to settle into its own rhythm without trying to control it. Just noticing it the way you might notice the rain. Releasing any remaining tightness in your body, in your emotions, or in your stories. For the next little while, give yourself permission to be gentle. Nothing has to happen quickly. Nothing needs to be solved. You're simply being invited to see the mother and father within a field of something larger, older, and more compassionate than the personal story alone. Bring to mind now the idea of a mother, not your mother yet, but just the idea of the divine mother, the pure shape of what mothering is at its highest and most sacred. Noticing her qualities, amongst others, of nurturing, receptivity, tenderness, nourishing, protective, and supportive. And now allow that Divine Mother to come forward in whatever form she takes for you. She might appear as an ocean, vast and rocking everything gently into her current. She might appear as the earth itself, dark and fertile, holding the weight of every root without complaint. She might appear as a shawl wrapped around your cold shoulders, with a pair of hands open and steady. Allowing the Divine Mother to become very large within your imagination. Feel her before you try to understand her. Her field lets you know that you may exist here. You may arrive unfinished. You may arrive crying, hungry, confused, and yet you're still worthy of being held. Her presence is the one that makes space for you. Before there is a self, there is her body, making space for another to grow inside it. Before there are words, there is warmth. Before there's achievement, there is being. Before anyone asks you to become something, the Divine Mother whispers, you already belong. Feel the quality of this, not as an idea, but as an atmosphere. A softening around the heart, a widening in the ribs. A sense that you do not have to earn every breath. A feeling that life itself is willing to carry you for a moment. Divine Mother is nourishment. She feeds without being asked, not only with food, but with attention, tenderness, patience, and presence. She notices what's small. She hears the quiet, the need underneath that exists beneath the loud behavior. She sees the child behind the mistake. She brings the blanket, the water, the hand on the forehead. She's not only soft, Divine Mother is also fierce. She's the bear at the mouth of the cave. She's the storm that rises when innocence is threatened. Her protection is born from sacrifice, and her love has a spine. She can hold you tenderly and guard you completely in the same very breath. Allowing yourself to sit within this field for a moment. Now, very gently, let your own mother step into that same light. Not replacing the archetype and not being asked to become perfect inside it, but just standing within it. The way a single wave belongs to the whole ocean, even when it cannot hold all of the ocean at once. See if you can allow the feeling of the Divine Mother to rest around your mother, like a great field behind her. Let the sacred pattern be larger than the person. Seeing the archetype as a sky and your mother as that human life standing beneath it. And with this, let us widen our perspective. Where did your mother succeed at carrying that divine pattern? Maybe it's in small ways, a meal, a blanket, a ride, a birthday remembered, a way she said your name, a moment she stayed when she could have left. A sacrifice no one thanked her for. A fear she swallowed so you would not have to see it. allowing yourself to notice any place where the Divine Mother did come through her, even if only in fragments. Let those moments be real. Now consider where the patterns may have gotten heavy in her hands. Perhaps consider the vastness of what a mother is asked to be might have frightened or exhausted her. How might the demands upon her have arrived in a body that had its own wounds, its own hunger, its own fears? You don't have to soften the truth in order to widen the view. Both can be here, the gift and the wound, the tenderness and the limitation, the sacred pattern and the human vessel that could only carry so much of it. If love came through her, let it be honored. If love failed to come through her, let that be seen with honesty. The point is not to pretend. The point is to make the picture larger than the pain in the story alone. Recognize this. Wherever you find your relationship, your mother continues on as a part of a much larger field of mothering that still exists, that still surrounds you, that can still be received and expanded. Now let that image rest, let it soften and move to the side as we begin to bring to mind the idea of the Father. Again, starting with the archetype, not your father as you know him yet, but the pure shape of fathering at its highest and most sacred. Picturing the Divine Father in whatever form rises naturally. Perhaps as a mountain, steady against the weather, as a sky holding the horizon without being asked. Perhaps a strong tree, rooted deeply enough that birds can nest in its branches. Perhaps a lantern in the dark with a hand on the shoulder, saying without words that I am here and you can rest. Notice what qualities naturally are demonstrated by the Divine Father. Let the Divine Father become very large in your imagination. Feel his presence before you, even try to understand him. Feel the power of his steadiness. He offers a presence that does not collapse under pressure. He is the calm voice in the storm. He is the one who says, we can face this. We can take the next step. You are not alone in the unknown. The Divine Father is love in action. He teaches that love is not only warmth, but reliability. Love is showing up, keeping watch, repairing what breaks. Love is drawing the boundary that protects the tender life inside of it. And love can also be the abrupt force that tells you to get up and shake it off. Feel the quality of the Divine Father as it settles within your spine. A quiet strengthening in the belly. A sense of being guarded but not controlled. Encouraged without so much pressure. Challenged, not shamed. Supported into becoming more fully yourself. The Divine Father is strength that does not need to be loud. He does not have to dominate in order to lead. He does not have to frighten in order to protect. His discipline is a form of devotion. From the divine perspective, the guidance does not say, become like me. It says, become truly yourself, and I will help you stand. The Divine Father sees the growing strength in the child and calls it forward. He says, I see what you're becoming. I believe you can do this. I will not do all of it for you, but I trust the strength being born in you. I will not abandon you while you learn. Allow yourself to sit in this fathering field for a moment. Now very gently, allow your Father to come step into this same light. Again, not trying to replace the archetype, not trying to be perfect inside of it, but standing within it. The way one tree belongs to the whole forest, even when it cannot contain the forest by itself. See if you can allow the feeling of the Divine Father to rest around your own Father, like a great field behind him. Let the archetype be the mountain, and let your Father be the human life standing upon it, shaped by his own weather. Considering your Father, where did he carry the pattern well? Maybe in some obvious ways, maybe in some quiet ways. A bill paid, a conversation, a door fixed, a ride given, a warning that came from care, a silence that was not cold, but simply the only language he knew. A mere presence in the room. Something he built, carried, repaired, or endured for the sake of others. Even if it was clumsy, notice where the Divine Father came through him in some partial way. Even if it was hidden beneath duty or fatigue or a few words, let those moments be real. And also notice where the weight of it might have bent him. Maybe the world never taught him how to be both strong and soft at once. Maybe he was taught that tenderness was weakness, that fear had to be hidden. Maybe his own fear of failing wore the mask of distance, sternness, control, or anger. Maybe, just maybe, he only knew how to protect through pressure because no one ever had taught him how to protect through peace. You do not have to excuse what hurt in order to understand what shaped it. Both can be present. The Divine Father gives the blueprint, but it still requires human tools to build it. Rest with this for a breath. Know that however limited, your Father is part of a larger field still fathering. It still exists, still surrounds you, and can still be received. You don't have to resolve anything just yet, but perhaps seeing him a little bit more fully than before. Now bring your attention back to yourself, feeling your own body breathing, feeling the place where you're supported by your chair, or the floor, or the earth, whatever it may be. And then for a moment, as your father and mother step back, as you sit here in clarity, picture a child, any child, maybe an actual memory of yourself at 5 or 6, maybe just a sense of small hands, wide eyes, a tender heart, still learning what this world is. Notice how that child is not perfect nor meant to be, as that child is learning everything for the first time. Learning how to want things, how to lose things, how to ask for help, sometimes even asking in the wrong way. Learning how to feel the big emotions in a body that does not yet know how to hold them. And yet the child tries still. And when the child fails, the child tries again the next day. Even when misunderstood, the child keeps reaching towards connection, because that's what children do. They're just practicing being human. And that child, of course, is in you. Let yourself see that younger self with kindness, the one that needs holding, the one that seeks steadiness. The one who really needed the Divine Mother and Divine Father to come through those human parents. And now notice something else. The child also exists in your parents. They had needs they could not name, fears they didn't know how to explain, moments when they reached for love and may or may not have found it. Parents were shaped long before they ever had a chance to shape you. They were still trying to learn and grow, just as they were when they were a child, not having everything figured out. They may have wanted tenderness, but yet they were taught how to hide it without wanting. They may have needed guidance and received pressure instead. Not to excuse them, but just trying to see them more completely. They too were not only teachers, but learners. You too are not only the learner, but the teacher. Now let the Divine Mother hold all three of you. Let the Divine Father steady the presence. Allowing this space to expand and become large enough that every child out there who did not receive, and every adult who later struggled to give what they could, that all of them can feel this presence. There's nothing you have to do with it, just breathe. Allowing understanding to come as gently as dawn, not as a demand, but as a light slowly entering your field. Now if it feels right, and only if it does, imagine one or both of your parents coming back before you into your field. If it feels too close, you can sit them a little further away, allowing your nervous system to choose the distance. For this moment, see them not only as parents, not only as the Divine Mother and Divine Father, but as human beings, doing the best with their consciousness, their tools, their wounds, the ways that they perceive the world. You do not need a script, but notice what might need to be said, what might be arising. Take a moment, if you choose, to share something with your parents. There is no wrong feeling here. All is welcome, whether it's gratitude, sorrow, joy, or tenderness. Forgiveness, when it is real, usually arises slowly, in layers, not all at once. If all that comes today is a little more understanding, that is enough. And now with the open space that you've provided, see if there's anything they want to share back to you. If anything comes, great. If not, allow there to be silence. Silence is allowed to. Sometimes the soul does not need a perfect conversation. Sometimes it only needs a little more space around that old story. We begin to close out, taking a slow breath, and notice what is happening within your body. If anything feels too intense, let the image move further away. Begin to feel the ground again. Feel the space around you again. Feel that you are here now in this present moment with more choice than that child once had. Allowing the image to soften, begin to dissolve, the same way that mist lifts off the water. You do not have to hold your parents in your mind or body anymore. Let them be released into the larger field of life. Feel in your own chest and recognize that you carry both of these sacred forces, both the Divine Mother and the Father. You're not only the child of two people, you're also, in your own way, the carrier of both of these energies. Let these two forces meet within your heart as they form the inner home. Not perfect, but real enough to return to. You're the child who needed love, and you're also the adult who can become a clearer vessel for love. Resting here for a moment in that balance. With nothing to fix or to prove. Just the felt sense of being held and being capable of holding. Both protected and capable of protecting, guided and capable of choosing your own path forward. As we close, we'll leave you with one more thing to consider for a moment. Who got to hold your hands in childhood has been set. But we are always free to choose how we hold what they gave to us. Taking one more breath in, receiving the spaciousness and the compassion of the mother, the steady expression, empowerment of the father. Receiving the child as a tender place in you that is still becoming. And as you're ready, feeling around you again, noticing the air on your skin. Allowing your toes and fingers to gently begin moving. Allowing your eye to come to the fire. As your gaze lifts, coming back into the day, finding yourself back into a seated position, carrying just a little bit more wholeness with you than you might have arrived with. Blessed be to all. Allowing that light to go out wherever it goes, and then pulling that light back within to your central garden, wherever it is, your sacred space, allowing that to be there to where you are whole and complete. So remember, when some of the personal lessons or triggers come up to you, you can decide at some point with intent to work through them and try to understand them through different levels. But also, you can say, that can exist, but that doesn't mean that's all of me. Do you see? Allow that to be your truth. You can honor fully who you are right now. You don't have to make excuses or defend it or whatever. And the more that you can be open to do that, then becoming also becomes so much simpler. Do you see? That's true detachment. Closing out the circle, thank you everyone for joining tonight.